Hello, everybody. Welcome to my podcast live stream thingy. I'm FastHeartMart. This is the FastHeartMart podcast. And this is episode 66, which is the Devil podcast. Just kidding. 6 is not bad. I think it's 3 6s. It has to be. So this is supposed to be my 47th birthday speech. And I think I'm going to make it about St. Patrick's Day, too, a little bit. I forgot it was St. Patrick's Day coming up. And that's such an important holiday. And I'll talk about that later. But, hey, Jeffrey Storks here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Jeffrey, what a good man. He's took banjo lessons from me for like 4 years. He came a long way. And now he's a regular friend of the podcast and a supporter. So I appreciate you, Jeffrey. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm going to play a song called Shady Grove while everybody's getting in. Say hello in the chats if you can. And this is called Shady Grove. It's a really Irishy kind of sound. I know I played this song, the first song, on the Valentine's special like a month ago, but this is the closest thing I have to an Irish song. Every year people ask me, do you have Irish songs for St. Patrick's Day? And I'm like, I have one that might pass, but and every year I'm like, well, maybe next year I'll have a set of Irish songs for St. Patrick's Day, and I never do. What songs is there? I mean, I guess there's some obvious ones from the folk, whatever. Anyway, I'll talk about that all later in a second. Let me just play this song right now for you. It's peaches in the summertime and apples in the fall. If I can have the girl I love, I don't want none at all. Just Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love. Let's go back to Ireland. Sweetest brandy wine. There ain't a girl in this whole world that's prettier than mine. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love. Let's go back to Ireland. When I was a little boy, I wanted a ball all night. Now I want a little Shady Grove to say she'll be my wife. And oh, Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say, Shady Grove, my little love, that'll go away. Well, some come here to fiddle and dance, and some come here to tear. Some come here to fiddle and dance, but I come here to marry. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love. Let's go back to Ireland. It's peaches in the summertime and apples in the fall. If I can have the girl I love, I don't want none at all. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, my darling, Shady Grove, my little love. Let's go back to Ireland. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It was a lot of fun playing that song for you. Who else is in the chat? My mom's here. Hey, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. My sister Michelle is here. Hey, Michelle. And my cool dad is here, too. My mom, dad, and my sister here, and Jeffrey Stork. Hey, in the chats, put your favorite Irish song. Does anybody know any Irish songs? I know Galloway Gals, right, is one. And then there's like these classic ones that probably I should know and I don't. So put them in the chat. So see what songs you come up with. Jess Rose is here. Jess Rose, the astrologer, and many other things. Ghostwriter, astrologer extraordinaire. She's here. Welcome, Jess. All right, so I'm gonna grab my paper. I have to admit, people, that there was a time when I would sit down and write out some speeches, and sometimes it would take me a few weeks to write them. But these last few years, this war we've been living through, World War IV or V, whatever people think it is. Some people think World War III took place in the early 80s. I can't remember what the conflict was, but some people say we're actually in World War IV or V. And it's a fifth generational warfare, so it's kind of a different type of warfare that we're going through. But I want to say to you, people out there who are listening, be proud of yourselves for going through these times. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up on this planet when you did. Things constantly changing underneath us, constantly. It's like trying to ice skate on a skating rink that's moving underneath you. Just as soon as you think you got the hang of it, something else changes. And, that's not... Human beings aren't really designed for, like, that many changes, maybe. Who knows? Here's the thing, too. I'm going to get really deep into stuff today about stuff with my birthday speech. But I didn't really write one, okay? I have just a bunch of lists. I have a list of topics that I'm going to cover. But I just want to say, seriously, this is not an easy time to be alive. I don't feel like... It's never an easy time to be alive. It's always difficult being here. And that's because I believe we're never supposed to be here forever. This is not our home. We're just passing through. This is the animals' homes, I think. I think the animals belong here. They've been here, and they belong here. And this is their home, but this is not our home. We're spiritual creatures, and we're going back home. This was just a place to learn some things. And I think, overall, the lesson to be learned is to learn how to be happy in chaos. I think that's the trick to life. I think we're here to learn how to just be at least maybe not even happy, but content. Should have some moments of joy and happiness, of course. Hopefully every day, some moment of joy or happiness, But for the most part, I think it's just about finding some contentment and peace, and trying to find that and keep it. And that's the name of the game here, because there was a time when we probably lived in caves and we're sitting around a campfire, right? And sometimes we want to romanticize those times and say, well, it would be great if we could live like that again, because we'd be around our friends all the time, and we'd just go outside and get some food, and you don't have to worry about paying bills and all this stuff. But we forget, we're exposed to the elements constantly. It was not easy either. It's never easy. No matter what we do here on this matrix that we're in, this realm. I don't even like to call it a planet anymore, because I don't think we can agree whether it's round or flat. I think there's good arguments for both sides on that. But on this realm or this matrix or this simulation, whatever it is, it's never been easy. It's never been, and that's not the purpose of the simulation. It's supposed to be tricky, and it's supposed to be a challenge for us to find our equilibrium, if you will. Happy equilibrium to you people out there, and congratulations for coming this far on history and not turning into a complete, psychopath or a sociopath. Maybe some of you psychopaths out there, my hat goes out to you people who are psychopaths and sociopaths. I know you probably can't help it. And for the rest of us, congratulations for not turning into complete drug addicts. Hopefully you haven't. If you have, my heart goes out to you as well, because I know it's natural. We all deal with things in our own ways, and there's a lot of drugs around these days. There's drugs everywhere, man. We got fentanyl running around and stuff. So anyway, if you're a drug addict, congratulate yourself for keeping going too, and hopefully you get off the drugs someday. And Randy and Hilda are here. Hey, Martin. Happy belated birthday. I like your new motorhome very much. Hope you had a great birthday. I did have a great birthday, Hilda. Thank you so much. And thanks for the congratulations on the motorhome. It has improved my life. I have been on 2 trips so far with the motorhome. And it has just, I know, like, you can't buy happiness and, materialistic things don't bring joy. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely helped being on the road. Because, I go out on the road a lot, even in California, within California here. I'll be gone for 3 or 4 days sometimes. And living in the Prius was not as fun. Let's just say that. Just imagine, every time you have to brush your teeth, you're like spitting outside of your door. And almost every time, like without fail, you go to spit, your toothpaste out, which is white and foamy and gross looking. And somebody's standing right there looking at you. Like, I thought I was alone in my car spitting some toothpaste out the door onto the curb or whatever. And nope, there's somebody watching you. And it's like, they're like looking at you like, that is so disgusting. You just spit all over the ground. So the motorhome affords me not to have to do that anymore and a lot of other things. But thanks, Hilda, for that. And back to the topic, though. So it is St. Patrick's Day on Sunday. I don't really know what St. Patrick's really even means. I think it's really just an excuse to wear green and drink beer and get wasted for most of us in the United States. I think in Ireland it might mean something, but apparently in Ireland a lot of people don't even observe it. That's what I've heard from good sources. But it's St. Patrick's Day coming up on Sunday, and I think some saint kicked out all the snakes off the island of the UK or Ireland, and I think that's what they celebrate. It's St. Patrick's kicked out all the snakes. Now, what were the snakes? Were they really bad? And is it something we really should be celebrating, or was St. Patrick actually an evil, deep state Catholic, corrupt Catholic guy who was, you know how that goes. Anyway, who knows? But I do know that it seems like these times we're living in, it's harder and harder for people to find joy and laughter and smile. Like, I go on my morning walks every morning, and I've noticed, as time gone on, especially since the pandemic, less and less people make eye contact. They don't smile. They don't say hello, good morning. I do, of course, because I'm a weirdo. I think if I see another human being, like walking on the sidewalk and I haven't seen one for 15 minutes or whatever, why not say hello? Who cares? Let's just be friendly and be, jolly a little bit. So I've got a joke for you, and it's an Irish joke. And I hope nobody finds it racist. I think I have a lot of Irish in me, so I think I can tell Irish jokes without getting canceled, I hope. But the joke is, what stays drunk outside on your in your backyard all night? Patio furniture. All right, that's a really old joke, I know, but I think some people will get some miles out of that. Patio furniture, I think I even told it wrong, which is even better. I think it's supposed to be what stays outside in your backyard all night. And anyway, that's the joke. But I'm sure I'll get some other things you can laugh about here too. Just gonna take my time, look at this, look at my notes, because I'm going off the cuff here today on this my birthday / St. Patrick's Day episode. And I'm drinking Zevia today, actually, in the occasion of St. Patrick's Day, which is actually blue, but it's a bluish green, kind of, just like my Banjo, a little bit. It's not as blue, it's not as greenish as my Banjo, but it's getting there. So cheers, everybody. Have a nice Zevia that does not have any sugar in it. It's sweetened with stevia, of course. Sugar is terrible for you, as you know. I'm talking about, processed sugar. I'm not talking about fruit sugars. We'll get in, that's another debate, of course. And I think there's a place for fruit sugars for sure. Of course there is. But these processed, isolated sugars, stay away from those. Apparently, omega-6s are the worst things, though. So stay away from that, which is usually in fried food. So another side note, and let's just have a little toast here. And so I told my Irish joke. It's just funny because you can tell these Irish jokes without getting canceled. I think that's great. I mean, it's like, well, how come so many Irish people are drunks? Like all these Irish people are drunks. If I say that, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're stereotyping people or profiling the Irish or you're racist against the Irish." Nobody's gonna say that, and that's fun, right? It's fun to make jokes about people that you don't get in trouble for making fun of. I guess, uh, isn't it? Uh, It's like we can make fun of the Irish all day long and nobody's going to get upset. I don't think. Maybe the Irish will, but where are they at? I think I'm Irish, so I'm not going to hit myself, so it's fine. Um, let's see. Why are Irish drunks? And that's what I've gotten written down here. All right, so that's it for the Irish jokes so far. And let me know if you have any others. Maybe I should check in with the chat because people are kind of getting busy in there. A whiskey in a jar, Molly Malone. Drunken Sailor, the star of Country Down, Irish Rover. That's what Jeffrey Stork was saying as far as Irish songs. Yeah, that's good. Those are good ones. I love Whiskey in a Jar. That is a great tune. I would love to learn that. I remember when, well, Jerry Garcia came out with it on the Shady Grove record with him and David Grisman. And I was like, I'd never heard that song before that record. And I was like, man, what a great song. And then Metallica covered it, and now everybody's covered Whiskey in a Jar. But that's a great one. It's a really great one. Thanks for that. What it? My mom says when his eyes are smiling. I don't know what that means, Mom. Anyway, moving on here. So we're done talking about the Irish and making fun of them and St. Patrick's Day. So I was talking to my Jewish friend the other day, and we get into these debates. He's a great guy. I love him very much. We've been friends for over 20 years. He actually currently lives in Israel, and he's one of my best friends. I met him in Albuquerque about 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, actually, 25 years ago. Actually, right, 25 years ago when I started my music career is when I met him. And I was just like, so, Jewish people don't consider themselves to be white anymore, I guess. So a lot of Jewish people consider themselves to be Jewish. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm not white, I'm Irish, so I guess I can get away with that. And I guess nobody's white anymore. Nobody wants to be white anymore, and that's fine too. Everybody could be something else. I don't blame. I was just watching a show today, and it was a documentary about these black people who got their land stolen from them, which is terrible, of course. And it seemed like a really cool group of people, and I liked them a lot. And they started talking to this white guy, and they're like, "You white people are all the same, blah blah blah," and like stereotyping them and stuff. And of course, they're not gonna get in trouble for that because I guess it doesn't work that way, and that's how it goes. So. And I don't mean to keep harping on this. It's supposed to be funny. I hope somebody's laughing out there because it's like we live in such a ridiculous time where it's like, and I don't blame black people for talking that way. I really don't. I was laughing when they were talking like that. I was like, dude, I don't blame them for saying that. It's like, dude, you guys are getting your land stolen. You're getting ripped off over there in South Carolina or North Carolina, wherever they're at. I was like, good for you. Stick up for yourself. Say whatever you got to say, I guess, And I feel like that. I feel like people maybe should say whatever they got to say, as long as they're not, physically, challenging somebody physically or what is the word? What's the word? Threatening somebody physically. Then might as well just, let's just get it out there and talk about it and see what everybody actually really thinks. Because when people don't really express themselves, then we end up with a bunch of people who are repressing their real feelings, and that's where we end up. I think that's how we ended up here. Is like everybody's like afraid to talk and smile and laugh anymore because nothing's funny because it'll get you canceled. So there you go. And I'm not a comedian, I guess. So I think comedians can't get canceled, but I can get canceled, I guess, because I'm technically a musician. Even though I think I could be a comedian if I put my mind to it. I guess it's really hard. I know it's not easy. So anyway. Let's see what else I've got here. So yeah, I think we're living through World War III. I really do, or 4 or 5 or whatever world war you want to call this. It is a war because there's so many people disagreeing, and maybe it's on the edge of pre-war or something, but I don't think so because a lot of people were hurt during the pandemic, and myself and a lot of people included think the pandemic was no accident. And that's a form of war. When somebody gets attacked biologically or whatever, it's a form of war. And then it's turned into a psychological war and stuff too. So that's another form of war. We have all these different forms of war. So I only say this because I think people underestimate how tricky these times are we're living in psychologically. I mean, as we all know probably by now, drug addiction has skyrocketed since all this started. Suicide rates, all kinds of deaths of all kinds have gone crazy. So it's just more and more. I have so many friends right now that are really sick, like really sick. I usually have, 2 or 3 friends on my prayer list every day. And right now, I've got like 15 people on there. And it's like, I can't even keep up sometimes. And God bless all my friends who are sick. And I'll keep you in my prayers and my thoughts. And I'm rooting for you. You know that. It's just, I'm disturbed because it's like something's wrong. Something has really changed. And this isn't cool, man. So that's how I feel about it. Car alarms are just randomly going off in a parking garage. You're just like walking through a parking garage, and it's like, okay, finally some like peace. I just got done driving, and all of a sudden this car alarm just goes off, and it's blaringly loud. And just like this world is so chaotic. Anyway, you have to ask yourself too, and I touched on this a little bit already, but are we devolving? I mean, have we evolved or devolved? Was it better to live as hunter-gatherers for, they say we lived until like 30 or something? Maybe that was better. I don't know. Like, the way we're living now, we're so detached and isolated. I'm talking to you on the internet, on YouTube, which is, definitely deep state controlled platform. And if you don't know what the deep state is, check it out, look into it. But, yeah, so, okay. I probably should play another song here in a second, but let me just check over my notes. I'll go more into what's going on here for my 47th birthday speech. It's so weird. I don't know if I'll ever get used to this because you don't have any feedback from the audience except for the chat, except for the chat. And it's like, if people were laughing and stuff, I'd know to keep going. If people were like not paying attention, I'd be like, all right, I better play a song, get people back on track here. But I can't tell. So I'm just going to play a song, I guess. I'll put my notes down, play a song. Have another sip of my drink to keep my whistle. See what my mom said. That is when Irish eyes are smiling on an Irish song. Oh, that is when Irish eyes are smiling. An Irish song. Oh, okay. Mom, are you Irish? Do you have any Irish in you? I know my dad does. I think Dad does. And my beard is red, so I think it means I'm Irish or Indian. I think people from India have red hair. I know I've said that previously on these podcasts, but I find that fascinating that people in India also have red hair. And there's some connection because of the drone. There's a drone in all the music in India, and there's a drone in most of the music in Ireland. And I think there's some connection there. This has actually been confirmed by some of my archaeologically inclined friends, anthropologically inclined friends. They've confirmed that there is some kind of connection there. Like, some people think there was a tribe that went from India and they landed on Ireland and settled. So who knows? I also believe in Tartaria, which is Tartaria was the land. Basically, some people refer to it as Atlantis. It was a very advanced race of human beings. Not race. It was a very advanced human beings. They were very elevated and evolved. Like, they got along with each other. They had peace. They were able to. They lived on these things that floated, I guess. And anyway, it sounds fantastical. But look into it. Look into Tartaria, and I think Ireland is actually where Tartaria probably was. I think Tartaria was like centered around Ireland. Anyway, okay, I got off topic again. Let me just take a little sip here. I think I hear my smoke alarm beeping, so I need to turn that off really quick. Hang on one second. You're gonna have to excuse me today. It's my birthday podcast here, so I get some leeway. right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Thanks for understanding. It's actually not a smoke alarm. It's my Wi-Fi box. It has a battery that's gone bad in it. Every day at this time, it starts to beep saying that the battery's gone dead. So I had to take care of that. Let me just tune this banjo. My mom says she does have some Irish in her. My sister says she has a lot of Irish in her too. And so does Travis and Dylan. Of course Travis and Dylan do. I mean, like, he's got red hair. That's my nephews in Virginia. Does anybody really celebrate St. Patrick's Day for the real reason, or? I don't think so, right? They just think it's cool to turn rivers blue or green and beer green. I never drank green beer. I never trusted it. I was like, no way, dude. Beer's already bad enough. And then you turn it green, it's like, forget it, man. It's like trouble. You're asking for trouble. I probably did actually have one, but I was just like, just so I could say I did it once, but most of the time I won't drink green beers. Most of the time I don't drink beer at all, you know? Except for non-alcoholic beer, I guess. Which is weird. It's such a weirdo. I drink cola without sugar in it. Beer without alcohol. Alright, this next song is a song I wrote. It is called Good Lordy, I'm 40. I wrote it back in 2016-ish, 17-ish, when I turned 40. I'm 47 now. And I thought it was a clever song back in the day. And I still sing it at most of my shows. And even though I'm not 40, I'm in my 40s. So I've turned the song into Good Lordy, I'm in my 40s. Just so I can keep singing and get some miles out of it. You know, you put a lot of work into these songs. You should be able to get some miles out of them. And that's how I feel about it. So this song's called Good Lordy, I'm 40. I'm working on a new one. It's called Ain't It Nifty to Be 50. And it should be out in 3 years if I'm still alive. Ain't it nifty to be 50? I had to completely change the tuning, so that's why it's taking me a second here. I would never do this at a live concert that I play, because you play one song and one tuning and then switch tunings right away. That's like super unprofessional. But on this platform, we have plenty of space, so we can just chill, right? Just chilling. All right, let me read some of these chats before I do this. All right, let me just, cause I feel like I'm neglecting people. I feel like that. Okay. Tartaria, I believe it. Celtic and Druid mysticism is crazy ancient magic. I know very little about it. Yeah, exactly. It's the Druids and the Celtics. Were very mystical. There was a lot of mysticism in the Celtic and the Druid culture. You know, Stonehenge and all that stuff. We don't really know, I don't think we really actually know what happened. But the Tartarian people who study Tartaria, they seem to know what happened. I find it very interesting. And I'm not saying it's true, just like I don't say that the earth is necessarily flat. I don't really know. I mean, if we're living in a simulation, why does it matter? It doesn't even matter if it's flat or round, because it's just all a simulation anyway. And I'm going to have a whole episode dedicated to that debate, I think, just to give people the perspective on how to debate these issues and what does it really mean. My sister says you're catching up to me. My sister's 9 years older than me, so what is she? Don't tell me. 56? Dang, Michelle. I can't believe this, man. I can't believe I'm 47. Nobody plans on being this old, you know. I mean, I'm not that old. I feel young. I feel good, you know. I really feel good. I'm way too busy and stuff, and I'll talk about that. That's one in my notes to talk about why I'm so busy. But I feel good. I think my dad said he likes this song. He says that's a good one. Oh, I think he's laughing at the joke I told about ain't it nifty to 50 being out in 3 years if I'm still alive. Over the hills where I'm going, that's alright with me. At the end of this life, my soul will be released. Yeah, good lordy, I'm in my 40s. Proud of myself for going around the sun on this planet so many times. And God knows it ain't been easy for me. Been a choice to keep on living. Whoa, over the hills where I'm going, that's alright with me. At the end of this life, my soul will be released. Yeah, good lordy, I'm in my 40s. I called all my friends for this occasion. We got together to celebrate. Brought black balloons and sang all my tunes, and I ate all the birthday cake. Whoa, over the hills where I'm going, that's alright with me. At the end of this life, my soul will be released. Yeah, good lordy, I'm deep in my 40s. Called all my friends for the occasion. We got together to celebrate. Brought black balloons, sang all my tunes, and I ate all the birthday cake. Whoa, over the hills where I'm going, that's alright with me. At the end of this life, my soul will be released. Yeah, good lordy, I'm deep in my 40s. Whoa, over the hills where I'm going, that's alright with me. At the end of this life, my soul won't be released. Yeah, good lordy, I'm deep in my 40s. Ah, good lordy, I'm deep in my 40s. Thank you very much. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. That's one of my songs. Good lordy, I'm 40. I'm in my 40s. Good lordy, I'm in my 40s. My sister said she's 55, not 56. All right. That's good. Thanks for telling me, Michelle. She's 8.5 years older than me. 8 years. I'll just say 8 from now on. For the rest of my life, I'm just going to say my sister's 8 years older. That way I never make that mistake of offending her by getting her age wrong. That's really offensive. I hope my sister doesn't cancel me. I said, I hope my sister doesn't cancel me for getting her age wrong. I got canceled for my sister for calling her 56 when she was 55. There's a funny news interview out there where this old black lady is getting interviewed by this white lady, and I don't know why I say people's races and stuff. I guess it's necessary for this story, but this white lady's like, she's like, so ma'am, how does it feel to be 80 years old and blah blah blah? And the woman's like, I ain't no 80 years old. I'm 79, and it's like, it's like, yeah, that's right. That's a big difference. That's a year, that's a whole year. A lot can happen in a year. So get that right, lady, You better do your research before you interview people, All right, anyway, let's get back to the speech here. Sorry about the musical interlude there. Let's see. My sister's laughing, so I guess I haven't been canceled by my sister. That's good. Thank God for that. Cheers, everybody, for not getting canceled by your family for getting their age wrong. I've said in previous episodes that my spiritual path is called the Baha'i faith, and we believe in all the prophets and stuff. And so the writings in the Baha'i writings say the only thing that you should really get happy about in life is getting closer to God. And if we could really have that mindset of like, okay, we're all going to die. We know that. It's inevitable. I mean, unless it's a conspiracy, like I'm open to that. Maybe people don't die. I've never died. Well, technically I've been almost dead, but that's a different thing. But I've never died. So for me, it actually is. I don't really know if people actually die. I don't know if I'll actually die, but most likely I will die, and most everybody will. And if we could get our culture to believe in that and be like, hey, just like you're happy about getting your driver's license when you're 16, and you're happy about being able to go to a bar when you're 21, maybe we should be happy about the fact that one day we will die and move on to the next world. And because it's inevitable, why should we be sad and upset about something that's inevitable, right? If it's gonna happen, you might as well make it a happy event, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I think some people understand what I'm saying. And again, this is my birthday speech, so I can take a little liberties here on getting a little wild and out there. So that's what I'm doing. So, let's look at the notes here. All right, one thing about the world we're living through right now, and what time is it? It's 4:36. All right, I got about 25 minutes. I think we got plenty of time. I'm gonna play some more music, of course. Don't worry, out there, if you're concerned. I will play some more music, but for now, I just want to kind of ramble on some more stuff. But let's just admit it. The internet is basically ruined everything for everybody. Nobody really talks to anybody anymore. We just communicate through social media, and it's ruined everything. But it's also been great. Like I can broadcast to you guys now into your living rooms. Which, is that great? I don't know. I guess I've had to adapt and be like, okay, well, I don't really like it, but that's what it is what it is, I think some people are really good at that, at just accepting things and going with it. I'm not really, I've mentioned this before in other episodes, but I'm not good at that. I'll be like, no, dude, like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. And I'm like dragging my heels, like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going that way. I'm not going to do it because I know this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way it's been. We're going to keep it this way, which is the definition of conservative. I'm not conservative. I don't identify with that label. But people want to conserve what's happening, already here. And then progressive wants to move forward, which I'm very progressive in a lot of ways, too. So that's why I don't identify with the stupid, progressive and conservative, or liberal and conservative labels. I don't think anybody's 100% either. So, but the internet has changed things so drastically. And again, that's another reason why we have to have empathy or sympathy for ourselves, because this is also different. It's constantly changing. And remember the days before cell phones? It was like, I think it was probably 2005 and stuff, I remember. I just remember people like, I'd have dinner with all my friends all the time. And I don't know, just things were just super different. And then now we have these cell phones, and it's changed everything. It has changed everything. my sister says celebrate life. That's true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could celebrate life and death, right? If you're going to die and celebrate life. I guess I sound morbid out there. Thanks for bringing that up, Michelle. I'm not morbid. I'm just, this is the way I see the world. And here we go. I'm going to keep going here. Let's see if I can get through all my points here. Had a big, huge argument the other day with, well, not a big, huge one, but a pretty strong one with one of my good friends in New Mexico about Spotify, whether it's good or not, and, inevitable, whether musicians cannot make a living anymore because of Spotify and all that stuff. And it was, I don't feel good about it, but I was standing up for myself. He's a musician as well, great musician, and great guy. Love the guy. We just got into this is an issue we had. Yeah, it's just so funny. I bring it up because he is one of my friends that I would never think we would get into a social media battle, but we did. And yeah, I don't feel great about it, but hopefully one day him and I will talk about it and work it out. I'm sure we will. We've been friends for 20-something years, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, they're modifying the weather. Again, this is a subject that's probably open for debate. I'm pretty agnostic on it. But I do tend to believe that the weather is being modified. I lean more in that direction of like, oh yeah, they're definitely cloud seeding. They're making it rain more in places, and they're making it dry in places. Some people are wondering now, even if the Sahara Desert was a bit way back, it was created by weather manipulation, because it's the Sahara Desert is like such a anomaly. It's like, what happened there? It's like, even though I think it's beautiful, I really love looking at pictures of the Sahara and videos and stuff. I think it's super beautiful, but it's like, what, how did that happen? And people have their ideas, of course, like, okay, the mountain range blocked the wind and the rain and blah 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 or whatever. So I'm not going to get into that much. What else? What's the meaning of St. Patrick's Day? That's kind of what I keep writing over and over. Like, why do we keep doing this? And is St. Patrick's Day going to just one day be forgotten? Probably. Well, hopefully not, but maybe. So I've been super busy, and I think a lot of my friends are getting mad at me and kind of like walking away from me because, like, on my birthday, right? I was inundated with messages and, from phone calls, and God bless all my friends. I love all my friends. This is the hard thing about it. It's like, on my birthday, I got a deluge because I didn't have a party or anything this year. I just got a deluge of messages from people all over the world, and I love that, But it was also so overwhelming that I basically ended up just turning my phone off because I was like, I can't do this. I can't respond, and I feel terrible because I can't respond. And so I've been super busy, and even on my birthday, I thought I'm going to have just a day off, just relax or whatever. But I didn't. I ended up working on my mixer so I could connect it to the podcast, and like working on my birthday, which is kind of sad, but it was the only time I had to do it because I knew the podcast was coming back up this week, and I wanted to play live for you instead of just showing videos like I've been doing. Man, am I rambling. So, but why am I so busy? Why? And I'm asking myself that because seriously, some of my friends are starting to lose faith in me, and I feel like they're starting to walk away from me a little bit and being like, hey, you don't really care about me anymore because you don't really come over, or you don't, call back, or, with all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I had to call one of my friends Saturday night and be like, hey, dude, don't give up on me. I'm just really busy right now. And then I had to think about it. Why am I so busy? Well, I think one of the biggest reasons I'm so busy these days is because the pandemic created a lot of inflation, and so now everything is so expensive, and when things get more expensive, what do you have to do? You have to work for what? More money. So when you have to make more money, you have to work more, and I think that's what's going on. Gas prices are higher. Grocery prices are higher. It's ridiculous for groceries now. And I try to explain this to people. Being a self-employed musician is not easy. And I say that almost every episode. I know that, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody or turn people off, but I am busy constantly. I wake up and I go to bed just busy. And I get breaks in there and stuff too, but I think it's just really tough. There was a time when, believe it or not, I wanted to be a robotics engineer. That's what I was going to go into. And then I thought about it. It was 1999, and I was at the University of New Mexico in the engineering program, and I was thinking to myself, wow, these robots are going to put people out of their work. They're going to take everybody's jobs, and all these implications of robots and artificial intelligence. And I thought, I don't want to be part of that. I just don't want to. I think that's a bad idea. As a good scientist will say to himself, just because I can do something doesn't mean I should do something. And so I dropped out of engineering school and became a musician, which I thought was going to be a lot more fun and easy. And it's been a lot of fun. It's brought a lot of joy, and there's nothing else I'd rather do. But it has not been easy. It is constant struggle. I'm constantly having to book shows, and as we know, I mean, every musician just usually ends up really haggard, like super haggard and run down, drugs, alcohol, and it's a tough life. You got to be up when you need to be up. You got to be down when you need to be down, and it's tough, man. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing else I'd rather do, else I'd do it. But I'm just saying, that's one of the reasons I'm so busy, is being a self-employed musician through these times we're living in, where there's a lot less gigs now after the pandemic. A lot of these venues closed down. A lot of these venues don't want to have somebody like myself who spoke out against people's right to choose whether or not we're going to take the vaccine. They don't like, some of the venues don't care for somebody like myself who speaks out, and that's their business. I get it. Jeffrey says, I think when you die, your friends and family should celebrate what you loved. In my case, it is being with family and playing live music with friends. Did you know the Sahara Desert and the Amazon were once connected? I've heard that the Amazon and the Sahara Desert were once connected, and so was Africa, South Africa, and Antarctica, and they think it was like all tropical. So again, that's what I'm saying. Like, what happened? Was it could have been weather modification gone wrong. Like, somebody had some weather technology, they were experimenting, and everything went haywire. And maybe that's what created Noah's flood, the deluge, the great deluge, or the great flood that everybody talks about. And yes, I think you're right, Jeffrey Stork. When you die, your friends and family should celebrate. In fact, in Africa, that's what they do. Like, if you're over 40, they celebrate, like your death. If you're under 40, I guess they grieve and stuff like that. So, congratulations to everybody who got to 40 and over. You're in the bonus round now, and you can check out anytime you want. I'm just kidding, of course. But yeah, I think in the Baha'i writings, it does say that the soul who has just passed on can move into the spirit world easier if the people left behind by the soul are joyous and not tripping and not really grieving, because the soul will stay around apparently, and until the people who are grieving for the soul have worked through it and processed it. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about funerals lately and all this stuff, and I don't even know if I want a funeral at this point. It's just like, what's the point in it anyway? That's my opinion. But I guess if people are gonna have a funeral for me, it'd be cool if they just had a big old party. I think that's what Janis Joplin wanted, wasn't it? I think she left like $25,000 for her funeral or something, so people could have a party. You could fact check that, but I think it's true. Moving on. What's the meaning of okay, St. Patrick's Day again? So why am I so busy? Also, I bought an RV and trying to get that up and running. I'm trying to sell my Prius. So that's a big job, getting it all cleaned up and all this stuff. I have tons of stuff going on. So I'm half saying this so all my friends out there know, please don't give up on me. I'm just going through a period. I have a lot of really sick friends that I've been trying to dedicate some of my time to, trying to help them, their morale, and or just in physical, trying to go over there physically and visit with them. I've been working on my sleep issues. I have these sleep issues, and so I have to do a lot of research on that. God, is it really 4:50? Okay, so I need to play a couple more songs. trying to have a social life, all that stuff. It's just busy. It's a busy world, busy life. And hopefully it calms down soon. I'll be doing some traveling in the RV, which usually means it's not going to calm down. It's going to get busier. But, God, say some prayers for me that my life becomes manageable soon. All right? And my friends don't cancel me. I'm going to play a couple more songs here. I think I'll play 2 cover songs to end this. What other songs did I have on the list? I don't think I had anything on here that... Yeah, Good Lordy, I'm 40 is the best original tune I had on this list. Oh, actually, it's not. I got to do one called Let's All Solve This, actually. It's a song I wrote. And if anybody's still out there, God bless you for still listening. I hope you find this interesting. I do. I find it interesting. I love just being able to just go on here and just say what I got to say. And hopefully it makes somebody out there feel less lonely. At least one person. If just one person feels less lonely, then my life is a success, So, all right. I'm going to play a song called Let's All Solve This. This is a song I wrote. And then I'll play a song called Wagon Wheel to end this, I think. I'll play Wagon Wheel or Stand By Me. Haven't decided yet. Okay, this song is about people coming together, finding common ground, and getting along, As I said in previous episodes, we can all agree today's Wednesday. We can all agree that Sunday is St. Patrick's Day. So let's just start there. We can all agree on that, right? And then you keep going. You're like, okay, do you agree that maybe some of these corporations are not paying enough taxes? They're evading their taxes? And most of us common people would say, yes, absolutely. So let's focus on that. Let's get the corporations and all these mega rich. I'm talking about the mega wealthy like Bill Gates is. Let's get them to pay their fair share of taxes, all right? Let's focus on that. And then we can keep going. And like, okay, can we all agree we're human beings? Yes, we can. Let's all agree that. And so are they poisoning our food with the glyphosates and the Roundup and the fluoride in the water? Most people say yes. Okay, let's focus on that, all right? Everybody focus on what we can agree on. I know we can find a million trillion things we don't agree on. But let's find the things we can agree on and focus on that, and let's fix this junk. What does Jess say? I love hearing Martin's real talk. Can't do this at the farmer's market. Yeah, I can't do this at the farmer's market. I would not get any tips for just going on and on. By the way, has anybody sent any donations today or liked the video yet? Liked the video, subscribed to my channel, all that junk. I was supposed to say that at the beginning. One of these days I'll get that down. But yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it, Jess. I'm at least Jess likes it. She's still here. So I win, okay? I win. One person, I connected with one person and at least, and that's a win. That's a big W for me. And Kevin Jones, he says Freebird. Kevin, you know how I feel about that. There's your Freebird, and there's two Freebirds for Kevin Jones. I love you, Kevin. Just kidding, man, of course. Somebody needs to make a documentary about that concept of Freebird, yelling out Freebird at a concert and how obnoxiously stupid it is. I know Kevin doesn't do that. Kevin's a good man. He's a great musician. Good friend of mine in Albuquerque. All right, here goes. The song's called Let's All Solve This. Kevin and I could find some common ground. Let's find some common ground, Kevin. Don't yell Freebird at my concerts anymore. There's so many problems that we'll all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. We could blame the president and a corrupt government. We could blame a myriad of unpleasant things. But we're all the problem and we're all the solution. 'cause everybody has a gift and part to play. I've got so many problems that we're all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. All this life is a blessing, so we better keep dancing. We better enjoy ourselves each and every day. Seems like there's always something trying to keep us struggling. But if we unify, we can break these chains. 'Cause there's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. I know I'm not innocent, I know I'm polluting. Every time I drive this car down the freeway, but I keep trying and I keep recycling. Oh, anything to save us from doomsday. 'Cause there's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. This life is a blessing, so we better keep moving. We better enjoy ourselves each and every day. Seems like there's always something trying to keep us struggling. If we unify, we can break these chains. 'Cause there's so many problems that we all have to solve them. Everybody come together and find a way. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. One of these episodes, I'll have to tell you about the bar brawl I almost started when somebody yelled out "Freebird" at one of my concerts back in Virginia. My sister was there, and my dad, and my mom, and it was an interesting time. It was an interesting night. I will have an episode dedicated to that story. I should do that. It's an interesting story. The concept of Freebird. Okay, what else are we doing here? I'm going to do a song. I'm going to do one more song. I got some time for that. Let's see if anybody's... let me just thank any of the sponsors here. Let's just find out.
This song is called Hippie Valentine.
What the heck? Stop.
It's about this guy.
Don't do that. Hey, Jeffrey Stork, thanks so much, bud. I appreciate the donation. The donation. Appreciate that, man. Somehow, I just never be a great DJ because for some reason I have like a speech impediment sometimes. I speak too fast and I start saying crazy stuff. But thank you, Jeffrey, for the generous donation. $1 for each year. So he gave me $47. That's awesome, man. Thanks, dude. And then Hilda and Randy donated some money too. Thank you so much, Hilda and Randy. And my mom and dad donated earlier. Thanks, Mom and Dad. You guys are great. I've been obsessed with the Rolling Stones lately, and mostly because I love how, well, one of the big reasons is I like how Mick Jagger, he's so dexterous with his words and his phrasing and his lyrics. Like, success. Can you ever thought about how hard that is to say success? Like he says in that song Shattered, which I think is one of their greatest songs, by the way, which is, I don't know why, but I just feel like Shattered is one of the Rolling Stones' greatest songs. I love it. I just feel like it's so random. And when he's like, don't you want success, 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 success? It's like, and I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff where somebody can do that. Those gymnastics with their tongue is cool. My sister said she remembers the bar brawl over the Freebird comment. I'll have to tell that story on one of these episodes. It was great. And thank God, thank God my family and friends were there because it might have been bad it might have gone really bad for me. I don't know. All right. Anything else? I think that's it. Anybody have any questions? Thanks for everything, everybody. I'm going to play one more song. Let's take a poll. Who wants to hear Wagon Wheel? And who wants to hear Stand By Me? Let's see how long it takes. The first person who responds gets their choice. How's that? In this episode, I think that was all I had to say, right? I told you guys to donate and to donate at the Venmo sign and below at the links. And what else? Yeah, this is some dead air. I'm at a loss for words at the moment, waiting for somebody to chime in. Wagon Wheel. My dad gets it. My dad got it. I'm glad for you, Dad. My sister said Wagon Wheel too. All right, so let me tell you the little backstory about Wagon Wheel and why I feel entitled to play it still with dignity. Oh, Hilda wants Stand By Me. And Jeffrey wants Wagon Wheel. Okay, let's do this, okay? Let's just do this. I'll do both. I'll just run this thing a little long because my mom wants to Stand By Me now too. I can't do that to my mom and Hilda to deny them a song. So I'll play two more songs. But let me tell you a little bit about Wagon Wheel. Wagon Wheel is a song that was originally written by Bob Dylan back probably in the 70s somewhere. And somebody recorded like a bit of him playing it. He probably recorded himself or whatever, like a handheld thing, just to keep his ideas on, get him on a recording. And I think he just wrote the chorus. And then in somewhere in the 2000s, a great band called the Old Crow Medicine Show, they heard that Bob Dylan recording on one of his bootlegs, and they wrote the verses. And I think I've got this story right. You could fact check me, please do. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong. As always, I'm always open to debate. Well, usually open for debate. I wasn't open for debate last night when I was trying to put the back seat back into my Prius, and my friend was arguing with me about how to do it because I was like, dude, I'm not open for debate on this subject. Just hold that back seat where I've got it right now so I can bolt it in, all right? So, but anyway, about somewhere in, I think the first time I heard Wagon Wheel, I think was like 2004 or 2005. And the first time I heard that record from the Old Crow Medicine Show, which is their self-titled record called The Old Crow Medicine Show, it was produced by David Rawlins. I had never heard such a great bluegrass, or it's not really bluegrass, an old-time string band recording in my life. It was real natural sounding, and great songs, great performances by the Old Crow Medicine Show. And the last song on the record was called Wagon Wheel. And it wasn't one that I thought was like the best song on the record. I thought it was an okay song. But it ended up blowing up, of course. And it got around. And and a few years later, Darius Rucker covered it, and he really made the song super famous, which is, I think, most people's first exposure to Wagon Wheel is probably Darius Rucker's version. Which is why I tell people these days, especially the frat kids, they like Wagon Wheel, and I'm like, okay, guys, I'll play Wagon Wheel for you, but just so you know, it's not your song. You don't get Wagon Wheel. You don't get to keep Wagon Wheel. It's not yours, okay? You can have Dave Matthews, but you can't have the Old Crow Medicine Show. They don't belong to you. They belong to people like me who really know what's going on, okay? And Darius Rucker didn't write this song either. Okay, so this song is called Wagon Wheel. I'm gonna play it for you after singing that. Super interesting. That was a super interesting story for everybody, I'm sure. I've played at places too that when you sign the contract to play there, they make you say that you won't play Wagon Wheel because they're sick of hearing it, I guess, in some of these bars. That was a couple years ago. That's probably 5 or 6 years ago. I think Wagon Wheel is kind of crested, and it's like now it's okay to play it again. But for a while there's like, what? You cannot play Wagon Wheel at this bar. and I would be like, I'll play Wagon Wheel wherever I want because I've been playing it since before you even knew what it was. So I'll keep playing. It's a great song by a great band. I'm headed down the coast to the land of the pines. I'm on my way to North Carolina. Staring up the road, I pray to God I see headlights. But I'm headed down the coast in 17 hours, taking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. And I'm hoping for Raleigh to see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind in the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. I'm running from the cold up in New England. I was born to be a feather and an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, play this banjo now. Our North Country winters kept getting to me. I lost all my money, so I had to up and leave. But I ain't head back, live that little life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind in the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Welcome to the south, out of Roanoke. Caught a trucker, had a filly, had a nice long tote. But he's a heading west from the Cumberland Gap, Johnson City or Tennessee. And I gotta get a move on, away from the sun. Hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. If I die in Raleigh, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Yeah, rock me, mama, like the wind in the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I just wrote that song about 30 years ago. Just kidding. I didn't write that song. Of course, Bob Dylan started it, and the Old Crow Medicine Show finished it. All right, I'm going to play one more. This last song is called Stand By Me. It was written by a man named Benny King, and I still tout it as the most beautiful song ever written in human history. And the reason I chose to play it today is because I do play it in the three-finger style. I've played almost every song in the three-finger style today, except for the first one, Shady Grove, which was in clawhammer. And I don't play the three-finger style that often, and so I figured since I put my picks on, I better keep them on. And Stand By Me is actually one of the songs that I play with my picks. But it is really one of the most beautiful songs ever written in human history. I don't know if there's been a more beautiful song. And I'd like to send this one out to all my sick friends out there in the world today. And all the sick people out there in the world trying to get better. I've been there. I remember one time it was the year 2000, and I was stuck in the hospital for about a month, almost a month. And I didn't know if I was ever going to get out of there. And it was a terrible feeling. I just remember, man, this is a terrible feeling I get. Anyway. So I'm going to play this song for all those people out there who are struggling pretty hard with their health these days. I believe in you. I believe you can get through this, and you will overcome. I do. I think it happens. People do heal, and they overcome their health problems. It's just finding the right information sometimes, I guess. So this last song's for all you out there. Thanks again for everybody tuning in. And I will see you in 2 more weeks. And yeah, how many people do we have today? About 5 or 6 people. It's a little light for my birthday special or whatever, but I don't take it personally. People, they're busy just like I am, and maybe they'll watch the rerun of this. A lot of people watch the reruns these days. They're between like 150 and 400 people watching them on YouTube now, which is nice. Which is cool. I feel like I got a chance here to get somewhere or something, maybe. Get some advertisement money from YouTube. All right, here we go. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you next time, which will be in 2 weeks. Every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. When the night has come, the land is dark, and the moon is the only light that we'll see. No, I won't be afraid, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Sing along out there. Darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Whoa, stand now. Stand by me. If the sky we look upon should crumble and fall, and the moon fall into the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Sing it, y'all. Darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. Whoa, stand now. Stand by me. when the night has come. The land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Whoa, stand by me. We'll stand there, stand by me. Sing it again, y'all. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. We'll stand there, stand by me. All right, you guys are great. I appreciate you tuning in. And I'll see you in 2 weeks, God willing. And Tartaria doesn't come back. I hope Tartaria does come back, actually. I think Tartaria would be great. So come back.